Alright, so we got some new DCU news. Brainiac has been cast. Lanterns has been given an explanation as to why it was delayed. Let's get into it. So James Gunn himself has come out and confirmed that Lars Eidinger has been officially cast as Brainiac in Man of Tomorrow. I was looking through his filmography and I haven't really seen any of these movies. I am not familiar with this guy as well. It's a lot of foreign stuff, but he has done some Hollywood stuff like Dumbo. He did this movie called White Noise, which I heard about, and this year he was in Jay Kelly, which is supposed to be really good as well. But by all accounts, he is an unknown actor. I actually like that James Gunn seemingly doesn't care about casting big name actors in his movies. Arguably, the biggest actor in Superman was Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. And even then, I feel like Nicholas Hoult is one of those actors where a lot of people don't know his name, but they see them and they're like, oh, it's that guy. He's really good. It really does seem like he auditions people and then he picks whoever gives the best audition, which I think is how things should be. Like, not to start a James Gunn versus Zack Snyder war, but like, there ain't no way in hell that Gal Gadot gave the best audition for Wonder Woman. And even when James Gunn decides to cast big names, it's stuff like Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer, right? Like, he genuinely saw something in Dave Bautista. He saw something in John Cena to where they gave really interesting and compelling performances. But yeah, all this to say, I have no idea who this Lars Eidinger guy is, but at this point, I kind of just trust James Gunn's casting choices because he's never cast a role where I've been like, oof, well, that was a mistake. And it especially doesn't matter for Brainiac because the actor is either going to be under a lot of prosthetics or he's going to be in a ping pong ball suit and they're going to CGI everything. So this is especially a role where you get the guy who's most qualified who gave the best audition. Now, I will point out that James Gunn is getting some flack because on December 14th, he went on Threads and he responded to a rumor that Dave Bautista was the top choice to play Brainiac, and he had this to say, "Oh boy, let's forget a moment that I've never said Brainiac was in the movie. I freaking love Dave Bautista, and I have many ideas for who he could play in the DCU, but he and I have never discussed a role in Man of Tomorrow, nor have we discussed it amongst ourselves at DC." So yeah, we have James Gunn here playing coy, saying that I never said that Brainiac was ever going to be in the movie whatsoever. And then a few days later, he goes, this is who we've cast to play Brainiac. And it's just like, on the one hand, I can appreciate James Gunn being a unique CEO and that he is active on social media and he debunks stuff. But I just don't think it's very productive. Like, for one, you are actively trying to discredit scoopers. And if you're always being honest, and if you're always on the up and up, and you're like, hey, this is wrong, and then it turns out to be wrong, then fair enough. But then you get into weird situations like this where, yes, Dave Bautista may not have been in the running to play Brainiac, but Brainiac is in the movie. Why add that beginning moment where you're saying, let's forget a moment, I've never said Brainiac was in the movie? It's like he's trying to play with the truth. And when you play with the truth like that, it makes you seem less credible. It makes you seem dishonest. It makes these moments where you shut down rumors less impactful, because now it makes us think back to these moments and go, all right, well, is this rumor false or is he just lying again? You know? In my opinion, I think James Gunn should just let rumors be. Speculating about who's being cast in certain roles, speculating about which characters are going to be in certain movies, that's part of the fun of it all. Even on its face, I don't think that the studio splashing water on fan theory and fan speculation is even all that helpful at the end of the day. Because at some point, the official announcements are going to come and we're going to be proven right or wrong. All you're doing is stopping people from having fun. But that is who James Gunn is. That is how he's running his studio. I don't see him changing anytime soon. And at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to make the movies better or worse. And one more thing, we also have an explanation as to why Lanterns was delayed. This is from DC Studios co-CEO Peter Safran. He says, it was about when it made sense for it to be released, so HBO Max could get the right lead-in, the right promotion, because it's an important show for everybody and the show is going to be great. It was about the right timing. So it's going to be, it's late summer. but there's a reason for it. So that's interesting. Like, he didn't come out and explicitly say this, but it sounds like it was more of an HBO decision than it was a DC Studios decision, because unlike Peacemaker, Lanterns is an HBO proper show. Like, I know HBO Max has made everything confusing, but there are like actual HBO shows like The Penguin and The Sopranos and now Lanterns, whereas Peacemaker is an HBO Max show, but it's not an HBO show. So I actually do think that HBO kind of controls the release timing. So it does seem like proper HBO shows have their releases controlled and scheduled by HBO themselves as opposed to DC Studios. James Gunn has even mentioned that the marketing and the marketing rollout is also kind of being decided by HBO themselves. So that is an interesting dynamic, because obviously James Gunn is the head of the DCU and the head of DC Studios, but this does seem to be a department where he doesn't have full control over. I would be curious to know more if like HBO also has control over like the creative decisions of Lanterns. Like, do they have control over the scripts? Do they have control over directing and editing choices? Or is James Gunn still 100% in control of all of that? I'm not really sure. And that is something that I'd like to see more reporting on. But either way, it seems like both Supergirl and Lanterns are going to be coming out in the summer. I don't know that it necessarily matters which one comes before or after the other. I assume that the stories are relative. I would assume that the stories aren't interconnected or anything. But I think it should be noted that we all thought Lanterns was going to come out earlier in the year, hence before Supergirl. But now we're going to be getting Supergirl, then Lanterns, then Clayface in 2026. And yeah, that's about it for today's video. Just some DCU updates. I figured I should try to make more videos like this. But we'll see. I might get busy with life.